feelings because I don't have too many. One or two, that's not really what I want to focus on. I really want to focus on something along the lines of what Jim said about what we can do practically speaking to organize and get things together. I did this critically thinking about what our goals are and what practically we need to get done. So I think these four things are basically what we have to realize. Number one, we need more people to know and understand our message. That includes us. There are a lot of things about government that I don't know. I've been reading about currency, about the Fed. In everyday conversation, we have to be prepared to talk to our fellow citizens. Closer? Yeah? Is that better? Sexier? No.
He's learning.
Okay. No, so we have to be educated ourselves when people are like, well, why does Ron Paul want to reinstitute the gold standard? Because gold is great. No, you're not going to get anybody. People are going to be like, okay, you're crazy. So we have to educate ourselves as well as educating other people. Two, we need more people to work towards achieving our goals, and we have to have it be as efficient as possible. So I'm going to go into this later about the numbers and winning congressional districts and things like that. But you have to remember that we have to be efficient. The best way to be efficient is to organize and to share responsibilities. Third, we want, obviously, more public officials in office who want to do the things that we want to get done. So, but that's not the only thing, and I think a lot of people are thinking about candidates and things like that, and really not thinking about civil society and the things that we can do that are not election-based to really start growing the movement. And I think all these things are important because the government and our opposition are organized to the hill. So when people are like, we have a meetup and we meet once in a while, that's great, but to do what? Are you organized while you're doing it? Or do you have several goals that are planned out? Do you have committees? Oh my God, now I'm talking crazy. He really wants to get organized. No, we need to do these things. We need to assign responsibilities, whether it be elections or, talking to people to get philanthropy going. A lot of us preach getting rid of the income tax because we say civil society can take care of itself, that there's a lot of charity out there. I haven't done enough charity this year. I give as much money as I can to charity every year, but I have more time and I could use it. And part of the concept I want to talk about in philanthropy and going out and community outreach is joining other civil organizations as a group, kind of like a hive mentality. We go to, the ASPCA, 15 of us to volunteer. There's 30 people there, We go from each organization to the next, and maybe we pick up 2 or 3 people in each spot, and it'll grow exponentially. It's not linear. Sorry, math, okay. What is the Ron Paul revolution? It's a revolution to restore the Constitution. We believe our government has become unconstitutional, so we want to reestablish constitutional government. What does that mean? This revolution is no different in any way than the first revolution. It's a continuation of it. It is an expression of the vigilance that our forefathers said we would have to make sure it remained free. We have to know what it is that we're doing, and our goals, and how to get there, to understand what will be the eventual outcome of our efforts. So our revolution is reestablishing constitutional government, and this, what I'm talking about, is how I think we should go about it. One second. How is the first revolution won? We can learn a lot of things from what they did. I think there was 4 major things: military, civil, governmental, and educational. Okay, this is not Kevin's rule. Number 1, military. We're not going to start a militia. But protecting the Second Amendment is basically our equivalent today to the military aspect of, establishing freedom. So that's one aspect. And how is it not won? It was not won by saying we should have George Washington be our king and he'll take care of it. Just make George Washington the king, no legislatures, nothing else. It'll just be King George I of America. From King George III of Britain to a king here. No, that's not how they did it. They decided that there should be different levels of government, different offices in government. And I think a lot of people looked at the Ron Paul revolution as the last stand. That if we don't win the presidency, we're not going to get anywhere. No, we're not just trading kings, because if you think about it, we're not trying to put a person in the presidency who has no support and bad government prevents him from doing the things we want to get done. We want to have a good government, a good legislature, a good judiciary that prevents bad presidents from doing what they want. That's what we're going for. So even if Ron Paul wins or loses, as Bill was saying, we have to get him people in the government, other elections at different levels. If you think about state elections and local elections as compared to federal elections, say we run somebody in a congressional district, it'll be great if we have a state assemblyman and a local judge or a city council member there at one of his rallies. And you know what? It's easier to win those positions. The Democrats and the Republicans are getting their shit together for the congressional elections. We can fight them. I have kind of a strategy for that. But the local elections, that's a great place. If we're grassroots, we're going from the bottom up. We tried going from the top down with Ron Paul. It didn't work. Are we going to wait 4 years to try the same strategy again? Or are we going to go and get going and try something new, something that's required, even if we win the presidency? Sorry, 1 second. So what was the Ron Paul presidential campaign? It was a battle. It was us versus them. We were outnumbered, but it was a battle in the revolution that's going to continue forward. It brought us together. We're together now. We have an infrastructure. We have goals. We have ideals that we want to respect, things we want to get done. It's a springboard for the rest of the revolution. It was an awakening, basically. Now we're all together, and I hear a lot of people say, we've just begun to fight. What fight, and how are you fighting it? Are you just punching the air? What are you talking? What fight? What's your plan? What's your game plan? I love that people are motivated, but it's not enough to be motivated. You need a plan to go along with the motivation. So how do we organize and preserve a movement? We take local meetups and campaigns that were temporary political campaigns for the presidency, and we make them long-lasting organizations. The New York City headquarters can be the first of these. We can do it right here. Look at all the people in this room. If we all got together and decided we're going to show up in one place, we'd make a lot of noise. Look at all the people that are here today. What if we all had individual responsibilities assigned to us? What if every week somebody came with a report for membership? Oh, I got 4 more people who are coming to our party next week. That's what we need to do. We need to grow, but it takes organization and people having responsibilities that include these things. People will say, well, are we going to be Republican? Are we going to be Libertarian? Are we going to have a name? Are we not going to have a name? We're going to do all that. We're going to be Republican and Libertarian. We're going to go to those local meetings, and we're going to infect their leadership. We're going to embed ourselves in those organizations, because then we will be effectively getting more groups of people in large numbers on board with us. We don't need a name, we don't need a party, we just need to participate in civil society. So I've split up the goals in 3 different ways: political, civil, and issue-based. The political ones, congressional elections. All right, who's heard of the Liberty State Project in New Hampshire? Or the Free State Project? All right, we want to have, round of applause, they're doing good stuff. What we're trying to do is get a free state in the nation, but I was thinking about it, and I was like, that's like 2 senators and 5 congressmen. Okay, that's awesome. And that's if we get all the people up there in the majority, and how long is that going to take? So I was thinking, why don't we think a little smaller instead of a little bigger? What about Liberty districts? We leverage each district in a state. This is far in the future, but we have to start somewhere. Yeah. What we do is, we don't try to fight the battle in every congressional district. That's insane. The Democrats and Republicans outnumber us in every district. The ones that are going to be battled. 75% of incumbents are re-elected. 25%, that's what we're going after. But so the Democrats and the Republicans are going to have a lot of people. So what do we have to do? We have to pick one district in the state, take all the Ron Paul supporters from the other districts, and bring them in. We have Jim Forsyth running in New Hampshire. New England, Ron Paul supporters should be up there, leveraging. That's it. The ratio of people who can vote and that we have to talk to has to be low. It'd be great if we had 1 supporter for every voter in that district. But we're not going to do that if we're going to say every district has to take care of itself. We can only do that if we coalesce, if we come together. We can't win if we're fighting for every election. We can win if we go battle after battle. And the thing is, if we win a district, now our person's in there and he has a 75% chance to get re-elected. What does that mean? We don't have to have as much support in that district. So we move to the next one. We'll be like a virus.
We need to choose our battles.
It's a hive, that's what I'm saying. We hive to the districts, we hive to civil society and other organizations. And we get together and we convince people en masse. There is power in numbers in organizing them, and that's what we have to do. And that's the whole point of the state and local elections. What if everybody who was in the Ron Paul movement, who donated, who came to meetings all over the country, got together for the town supervisor? It'd be insane. Town supervisor elections, have you ever seen them? They have like 15 people and they're all related to the candidates. But here come the Ron Paul people, 1,000 people marching because the city council member's about to get elected. People think we're insane, but that's okay because we are. We want to get shit done. So when people be like, why are there 1,000 people promoting this guy for city council? Well, shit, because it needs to be done.